Hello everyone, welcome to another royal reading here at MadWorldTarot. Glorious Friday afternoon where I am. Lots of flooding and disasters around the world, so I hope that you aren't being affected by any of that if you're watching this, and thoughts with you if you are being affected by it. But we're going to look at a tiny little disaster that might be unfolding in Montecito now, and I'm looking at it with the Crow Tarot because the Crow Tarot is quite good at looking at gossip and chatter on platforms, social media platforms, and we have got gossip and chatter from NT at Celebrity Days and Night, and NT tells us that there are moving vans, or there have been moving vans spotted outside Mudslide Mansion in Montecito. His comment is, and he's a very dubious source, he makes stuff up, he freely admits it, so we have to take this with a giant grain of salt. And he says it's crazy how everyone comments about moving vans outside Ben and Jen's house, but no one ever says anything when they are in front of the illiterate one's house, Meghan's house. He calls it Meghan's house, interestingly, which makes it sound as if there is a moving van, it's Harry who's doing the leaving. And as far as I'm aware, up until the time that I'm doing this reading, Harry hasn't been spotted back in California or the United States even. So let's have a look. I'm going to have a quick look with the Crow Tarot, and we're going to ask what's going on and how life is. There's death. How life is on the home front in Montecito. Tell us about the moving vans. Is it true that somebody is trying to extricate themselves from, well, take their stuff out of the home, if not their actual selves, out of the relationship? Perhaps a precursor to that. How's Meghan doing? Because she looked pretty manic, in my opinion, at that gala in the hospital, the children's hospital last weekend. Is she having a panic? What's going on? We assume that if anyone is going, it was Harry who would be leaving. And where is this relationship heading? I did do this reading previously and made a bit of a mess of the sound, so I'm doing it again from scratch. I got the Tower as the where is this relationship heading. So we'll see what universe wants to give us the second time around, and hopefully I'm not going to make a mess of the sound this time around. And let's remind you, I think I've got the cards. It tells me I need to do this, and so I will. As I cut the deck, let's remind you, it's tarot. It's for fun and entertainment. It's all my opinion. It's all speculation. And I just read energy, and disclaimer in the box below. Let us see what's going on. Crow Tarot, how's life on the home front? Are there really moving vans outside? As I say, here's a dodgy source. NT does get some things right. And is Meghan in a bit of a panic? Ooh, we've got a sign of escape here, the Hanged Man in reverse as our underlying energy. Hanged Man, when it's upright, is somebody who's stuck in limbo, powerless, can't, is having a big think. The card is in the reverse. That means the time for thinking is over and it's time for action now. And a whole new world awaits, because the Hanged Man is Neptunian energy, which is very cloudy and foggy and deceptive and deluded until it clears. And if somebody has been in that kind of energy and you get the Hanged Man in reverse, it tells you that the fog is beginning to clear. They're beginning to see things differently, Hanged Man in reverse, and they're ready for action, cutting themselves down from the place where they have been hanging, basically liberating themselves. It's a powerful card of liberation. I'm getting a real sense of liberation with this Hanged Man card. So that's interesting. Somebody is getting a bit of a clue, perhaps, about how messed up their marriage is and how messed up their life is, possibly. And as I say that, my voice starts going. Very interesting. It's been fine all day until I started doing this. Okay, situation that we're dealing with, Strength in reverse. This is them. This was the Harry and Meghan card famously, and it was for a very long time when I did these royal readings. It's the Leo and the Virgo combined in that card, and that's them as their power couple in their power couple phase. The brand, they were going to take the world by storm. They were going to have a rival court in California and challenge the royals at their own game. It's in reverse, which means that the relationship is weakening. For me, the Strength card, particularly when it's in reverse, can indicate some degree of codependency. Instead of being able to stand on your own 2 feet, you are reliant on someone else. So I'm getting a sense of their relationship weakening, but them somehow still being attached to each other, even though we have the sense of somebody trying to extricate themselves or seeing the situation quite differently. What he might have thought was a very strong relationship and a source of comfort and fortitude for him going in his life, he now sees quite differently as a source of weakness, illness, even in the Strength card when it's in reverse. That's made him very vulnerable and something that he might want to get away from. So let's see state of play in Montecito, just generally what's going on, what's the vibe there. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Ooh. It's certainly not the place where they're going to be living. It's not their forever home. Shall we say that? Ace of Pentacles in reverse. I've been getting Ace of Pentacles upright for Harry when I've been looking at property. The rumours that he's been house hunting in the UK, he's possibly renting in New York, all of this kind of stuff. I'm getting Ace of Pentacles in reverse. When I ask about Mudslide Mansion, it tells me 2 things. It tells me it's not the forever home. It tells me also that they could have lost a pile of money with that purchase if they did actually buy the house. I know it's in the name of some trust or something like that. So it's a little bit unclear who owns what and what's really going on. But it must be costing them an absolute bomb. It's just the property taxes, let alone the maintenance, the upkeep, the repayments, the mortgage repayments, if they do have a mortgage on it that they're trying to pay off. Bit of a disaster financially, and something that is unsustainable. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. This cannot continue. So tell us about the moving vans outside. Just generally, whatever universe wants to tell us. Somebody's off. And I wanted to start singing Off to See the Wizard. No, but somebody is off. The Fool. We're getting huge cards. I've got Major Arcana on here and an Ace. That's the hanged man who's cut himself down, tired of being the sacrifice, tired of being the victim, tired of being the offering somehow, the villain of the piece even, and is now off on new adventures, the Fool. Who knows where the children are in all of this? Rumour has it that they both have homes away, and that Mudslide Mansion is where the children live, and they come and go, they take turns, and they very seldom overlap. They meet wherever, if they're going out on a thing or one of their 4 royal tours, and they put on the show, but they take turns at home. So that the children stay in what was the marital home, and the partners themselves come and go. That's the rumour. The rumour is that the separation of living arrangements has been ongoing since the Queen died. So who knows? But somebody is starting afresh. Somebody is off on a whole new adventure. Very excited about it. Very energized. Very pleased with themselves. It's Harry's energy. It's definitely not hers. That's her Leo card primarily in reverse. So her energy, she's the one who's been weakened. She's the one who's losing her grip, losing her control. So let's get to her now and ask how Meghan is doing right now in this context, because I am seeing signs of a getaway here with these 2 cards, the Hanged Man in reverse and the Fool. How's she doing? Losing her grip, possibly. Death, it showed up when I was shuffling. It wanted to reveal itself. Endings. It's the End card. It's a hard ending, the Death card. It is forced change that you don't want. It is a whole, it's not a shock. I don't think this is a shock to her. I think it is a grim realization that this adventure is over. And it's not her decision that this is over. I'm feeling quite a hand gripped around my heart, squeezing my heart as I'm saying that. It is an icy hand of panic. Because it's forced change, it's having to let go, it's having to be brought down to the bones, as you can see in this card, reduced to nothing and then reborn as something else. And we're getting these bold pronouncements about how she's reinventing herself yet again, and she doesn't care what anyone thinks of her, and she's out and about in her red dress and she's over the beige, she's going to be herself and her true self. That's the sign of somebody who's being forced into change that they aren't ready for and that they didn't choose and that they would prefer not to have to endure. So where are we heading with this rather interesting little story? Where are we heading? Now that's just crazy. That's crazy. Because I told you I've done this reading before and I messed up. In the previous version, this card was in reverse at the end, and you just have to take my word for it. That's a divorce card. That's the House of Cards falling down. It looks like Harry might actually be ready to pull the plug now after his, what he might view as terribly successful trip to New York and London and South Africa and Lesotho and wherever else he's gone on his secret mission, and be ready to actually pull the trigger on this relationship. I keep using that analogy. It's a bit ugly. Sorry about that. It's the one that just comes to my mind endlessly. And these are huge cards, and it does look as if something is going on in California that doesn't bode well for Meghan, with that Strength card in reverse and that Death card. Both fixed signs don't deal with change very well. Leo, Scorpio, of course, in the Death card doesn't deal well with death. There is a sense in that Death card that the Crown has won. And there is that saying, the Crown always wins. The King, of course, is Scorpio. It looks as if the Scorpio has triumphed in this sense, in perhaps waiting this thing out for a long time, much to people's dismay, and playing a very long game with her. And it looks as if Harry has finally woken up and is heading for the exit. How he's going to be received on the other side, I don't think very well, apart from perhaps the King. But wow, that's quite a powerful reading. Short little reading as it is, some very powerful cards in there. And that to show up twice, that tells me that something big is coming. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.